Welcome to the Athletes Grind, presented to you by Five Star Athletics. We have another special guest with us today, Jerry Johnson, 2023 recruit from Dillard High School, DB. We're going to get into some things today. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Very well.
Absolutely. So Jerry, before we get started, man, I already mentioned Dillard High School. I mentioned defensive back. I mentioned 2023. But tell us some things that we don't know about you right now.
Okay, so also I run track a little bit on and off. I started around middle school running track, and then basketball. I've been playing basketball like all my life. That's probably my first love, my first sport. I always loved playing basketball. I'm more like a small forward shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing basketball. That's my first love.
All right. So is it safe to say that you balling for Dillard High School right now?
No, I ain't playing basketball. I'm focusing on going to college right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it was your first love, so we definitely had to ask and let the people know if they were interested. And so going back on football, right? What age did you start playing football?
So most people be kind of like a little surprised, but I started around the age of 11, 10 years old. I didn't start like everybody else, like 5, 6. My dad, he put me in basketball,
Right.
and then he knew the type of sport football was. But I just grew up around it because he's coached it for like decades. So
Right.
I just wanted to play it so bad. And it's like, my first week, like my first game, I didn't play at all, and then I just got like I just like turned up from there. And I just
Right.
started the rest of my life.
Right. Absolutely. I need to get to this GPA real quick before we continue forward. We know we want to do everything that our goals and hearts desire, right? And we know we want to play at the next level. We know you possibly want to play at a pro level as well. But academically, what is your GPA and what's your favorite subject?
So unweighted, it's about like a 4.1, something like that, and then weighted it's a 3.75.
Absolutely. And what are your career goals? After everything is done, after you can't play sports anymore, after that's all done, what do you want to do in the future?
Like non-sport wise?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to major in computer engineering. So with that major, I'll either try to start up my own business, um, definitely probably work under people before. If anything, I have a couple uncles and family members that have that business already set up, but definitely own my own business in computer engineering.
Absolutely. All right. Great goals there. And what about your favorite musical artist? We're trying to learn more about Jerry Johnson here, 2023 recruit from Dillard High School. Jerry, what are you listening to before you get on the field, before you start playing basketball or running track? What are you listening to get you hyped?
To get me hyped, I don't listen I listen to like rap, but I don't listen to like that super fast music.
Yeah.
Like but I listen to Kodak, but my favorite song is like, people might say it's like cliche or whatever, but it's the Dreams and Nightmares song by Meek Mill. Like,
Oh, man.
always get somebody turned up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I dig the Meek Mill, man. I'm a big Kodak fan myself, man. Co-defendant, versatile. Like it's almost everything is collection that I like. So I feel you on that. And learning more about you, Jerry. If we ask your teammates, your friends, your family members, what kind of person would they say you are? How would they describe you?
They would describe me more like a person to myself. Like I'm very open, but it's I don't always show like first like I don't like put my first foot forward to just to talk to somebody. I'm more to myself and just like hard working and work for myself. I'm really big on work ethic. I'll never quit on anything. That's one thing about me.
Right. Okay. All right. And going back to football, you say you started at a young age, we say 11, but what from that point up until now, and you got a lot of highlights on your Twitter. Before we get there, man, give out your Twitter so people can see all these explosive highlights that you got going on. What's your Twitter handle?
All right. So my Twitter handle is GG and then Jerry Johnson, just my name. I couldn't put like Jerry Johnson with the third and all that because it looked weird and stuff. So I just put something in front of it that represented my religion.
Absolutely. And so we're talking about your highlights here, Jerry Johnson. But what is your favorite memory thus far from the age of 11 up until now? What's your favorite memory of football?
Um, My favorite memory, I got like two. One, I used to play 'cause my freshman year to junior year, I played at St. Thomas Aquinas, and one of my favorite highlights I have is making this fourth down stop to kind of like just close out the game. They
Right.
threw like a little bubble pass, and I went up there and I tackled him, slammed him, and that game was wrapped. And then my second game ever in my life playing in Optimus League, I got like a sack on a blitz, and I was like, I just got up and screamed after that. It was amazing.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And you know, we talked about, you know, the two different high schools, but coming to Dillard program, let's start with that, right? Coming to the Dillard program, Coach Tyler Tate got a lot of great coaches there at Dillard High School. You know, how was the transition coming from, you know, the previous school coming into the Dillard culture? How were you welcomed in? Talk a little bit about that, Jerry.
Actually, the transition was like really clean. It was actually really clean. It was people that I knew. I had Coach Blue. He went from Heritage, came to Dillard. I know him. He's been talking to me ever since I came out of middle school. 'Cause I have many options to go wherever I want, because it's free. So
Yeah.
we go wherever we want. And in high school, pretty much, as long as you to pay. But I knew Coach Tate. I had family friends. I knew the receiver coach, Coach Snoop, and they're all really good people.
Right.
They're really good people. Like we pray before game, after game, before practice, after practice. It's still like that Christian Catholic feel. Like people playing. We have a teammate, like a homeboy. We call him Lil Dave, but we also call him Pastor Dave because you go on his social media or anything, all you're gonna see is the Bible. That's all you're gonna see.
Yes.
Back to the question, it was really clean. It was clean. It was easy. I grew up private and public school, so it was no problem for me.
Right. And you know, I asked that question because we got a lot of athletes that go from public to private, or a lot of athletes that go from private to public. And I was just curious about the transition. And you know, I know Dillard High School, they have a great coaching staff over there. They welcome everyone that wants to come and play, come be a part of the Dillard culture. So I wanted to get that out there. Shout out to Coach Tate, by the way, Tyler Tate, Dillard High School, Dillard head coach football at Dillard High School. And, you know, Jerry, back to you. Talk a little bit about, you know, some of the things that you worked on in the off season coming into the new season, right? And how did that whole thing work out for you? What were your goals? What were your plans? And then tell us how the season worked out for you.
Off season definitely was a grind. So just in the summer, like right after spring, is pretty much when I had made my decision to go to Dillard.
Right.
But they didn't start workouts until like June, and we still was right before June, and I had to get the paperwork before I could actually work out with them. So I would wake up in the morning around 6:30, workout. Then I would do my like online school. Then I would finish that. I would work out again, and then I would pretty much just like hop around the house, hop on a Zoom call or a FaceTime call with one of my coaches and just learn the playbook. And then as we got into workouts, I would do pretty much the same thing, except my second workout would just be with Dylan. So that was pretty much it.
Absolutely. And you know, before we go further, man, let's tell everybody your measurables. You know, what's your height? What's your weight? How you looking right now?
So I'm about like 6'1.5", 6'2", and during the season I was like 205, but I lost a little bit of weight, so I'm like 198 right now.
Okay. All right. And you know, that's prototype professional right there. We're gonna jump, you know, extend beyond college. You know, that's a big DB right there. And tell us, you know, the positions that you do play in the defensive backfield. Is it just corner? Is it some safety, some free? How you looking back there? How can you transition there?
Well, I'm very versatile. I play anywhere. I play strong safety, the
Right.
nickel, the corner spot, the free safety. I even played the outside linebacker just to blitz a couple times. I'm very versatile.
Right. Absolutely. And you know, let's talk a little bit about, you know, you're in your senior year right now. You know, we've seen a couple of offers from, you know, a couple of PWIs, you know, a couple of awesome programs, you know, Ivy League programs. But in order for you to make a college decision, and before we get started now, are you committed right now to any school?
No, I'm not committed. I just have very big interest in certain schools.
Absolutely. And so for the schools that maybe have not shown interest yet, or maybe they've shown a little bit of interest, for you, in order for you to make a decision going forward for the next 3 to 4 years where you're going to play, what is that college program going to have in order to get Jerry Johnson there on campus?
Of course, good academics. I need good academics. Always, my mother's big on academics. Second, really good football team. I'm hoping wherever I go, they have a good football team. Never been on a losing team, so I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
A good academics, good football team, and a chance for me to actually play. Maybe not the first year because I'm a freshman or whatever, but second year, I need that opportunity to get on that field some way, somehow.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're talking more about college right now. Is there any schools that maybe you haven't heard from that you would love to hear from, or maybe you have heard from, but you would love to hear a little bit more from?
Okay, so I've heard from FSU, West Virginia, Penn State. I would love to hear more from those schools. Me personally, I feel like I went to Penn State on a visit. I know I can play there.
Right.
I know I can play there.
Right. And you're talking about Penn State, and they're actually in the bowl game today. So you plan on watching the bowl game with Penn State today?
Yes, I will.
Absolutely. And so, we're talking about we're talking with Jerry Johnson, DB from Dillon High School 2023 recruit. Jerry, what defensive back, whether it be in college or NFL, would you pattern your game, most similar to?
Okay. Since this year, I was all over the place. I was free safety, strong safety. Like I was like even on the line blitzing. I was everywhere. I would say this year Sean Taylor, most definitely. Because
Yeah.
I got the interceptions, but I also got all the hits and all that. So definitely.
Right. Man, that's a huge comparison. That's one of the best to ever do it right there. And you got the size, and also you got the speed as well. So let's talk a little more about that, man. Because you got some touchdowns on your record, some return touchdowns on your record. Talk a little bit about the scheme at Dillon High School and how it was able to put you in great positions for you to get those pick sixes.
So we had kind of like a coverage that you could play like 6 different coverages, and our coordinator, we had 2, Coach Macho and Coach Blue. So they came up with this coverage, and they kind of like mimic Coach Saban, where it's like a cover 3, but like it's like a weak flats look. So you clear the seams, and if number 2 goes to the out, you jump out.
Right.
So playing that, I probably gave up about I didn't start going down until we played like a 7th game. So I probably gave up, I think, 1 or 2 bubbles the whole year because I was able just to jump the flat and shoot now. So I probably gave like 1 or 2. And then also on slants, we would go, man, this cycle coverage. Fort Lauderdale, I had some film study, and they do all slants.
Yeah.
In the red zone, like I'm damn near like on the goal line.
Right.
So I just was waiting, and I see him look. He threw the ball. I just broke, and I just took from there.
And talk a little bit more about that, man, because nobody was catching you from behind. I think that might have been Fort Lauderdale game. I'm not sure, but I saw you take an interception from the end zone all the way to back to the house. So talk a little bit about that play specifically. What you were seeing. How you were able to jump the route, as well as that's got to be some type of record for Dillon High School, right? Is that a interception return record? So talk a little bit more about that.
It's the 2nd interception. Like the first one is like 107. So I'm 2nd right now. I wish I was first. It's okay though.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, shout out to my boys on defense, because without my D lineman and my boy Trey, I would not have been able to take all the way 99. Because as soon as I caught the ball, I had somebody on my shoulder, on my back. And my D line came and cleaned him for me. Yeah. So once he cleaned him, I just was out of there. And I was basically chilling around like the 20-yard line. I have to keep running for real. So.
Yeah, man. I thought they were gonna have to put that number 21 on you from behind me, man. That prime time, because you were by yourself, man. So that was real clean play. Congratulations on that. And Jerry, talk a little bit more about football. You talked about you being as versatile as you are. does the same thing hold true when you get to the next level? So can you step into a free safety, a slot position, whatever it may be? You know, do you see that for yourself going forward, or do you want to really kind of hone in on one position?
No, absolutely, absolutely. I would love to be the man of the defense. That's like what I have pride on. So if they want to put me in the slot to cover their best receiver, I'll do it. Put me at free safety to read the quarterback, go get us a book, I'll do it. That's whatever.
There you go. There you go. And as we wrap it up here with you, Jerry, we're gonna definitely give you the floor right now. Definitely talk to you. You know, have you talk to the college coaches, give any thank yous that you want to give. Right now is your time. If the college coaches want to recruit you, Jerry, what kind of recruit will they be getting if they brought you onto their campus, as well as go ahead for any shout outs that you want to give right now. Now's your time.
Shout outs to the coaches that believed in me
Yep.
this year that put me in. Shout out to God, always, always God. Read about it. Shout out to my parents, my family that supported me the whole way. I think my parents didn't even miss a game this year. You know, I love my parents. Um, as far as recruiting wise, you don't get somebody that's humble, hardworking, but the most hardworking person in the room and the most humble. That's pretty much it. Ready for it all.
Right. Absolutely. We're talking to Jerry Johnson right now, Dillard High School 2023 recruit, defensive back, big defensive back, 6'1" and a half, a little bit over 200 pounds right now. So Jerry, your recruitment is open. We look forward to seeing, you know, what are the next steps in your career and following you from there. If there's anything that we can do to continue to help that process, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you so much, Jerry, for joining us. Greatly appreciate it.
Sir, thank you.